Okay, hi, good evening. We are back for Chit Chat Ang Moh 2. Okay, so this is a casual night slot of sharing ideas by Penang English Master Trainers. So, do come and join us for different vibes of online teaching. So, please be informed that the sharing solely is what the speakers have tried out in their own online classroom. Yeah, so click on with an open mind and hope you enjoy our Chit Chat Ang Moh. So have fun. So today we have Pian. All right, very relaxed. Okay. Hi, Pian. Okay, so the screen is yours. All right.
All right. Thank you so much to Puan Melissa for the introduction. So, good evening. And as first, Assalamualaikum and good evening to all of you. And welcome back to episode 2 of our Chit Chat Among franchise. And yeah, so today is my turn. And I hope that you guys are hale and hearty and as well full of beans. And if you are caught with any illnesses, I hope that you recuperate very well from the illnesses. And if you can see of the COVID cases that we have today, it has exponentially increased from 743 until 1.3K for Penang. So please stay safe, especially with the new variant over here. And yeah, when I am delivering whatever things that I am going to deliver after this, if I speak fast, when I get the anxiety, I tend to speak really, really fast like a bullet train. So please do stop me whenever you can. All right. I don't mind. I don't take that as a rude thing to do. All right. So
Oh,
basically today,
oh, Ina has that red and green flag.
okay, good, marvelous. So today, because it is very casual, so I would like to tell you about a story. I would like to tell you about a story of a male teacher who has been teaching in his 8-year tenure in SK Permatang Pasir. So yeah, and then for all this while, he's been teaching not so well, but okay. But then when it comes to the PDPR, where we have this difficult time of pandemic, then everything has changed. All right, and then this story happened when this year in no, right after we started our what do we call the PDPR after the Raya, if I'm not mistaken, after Raya, right? Okay, after Raya, and then I got observed. I got observed with my friends, and then the GB of our school, the admin, observed our class. During the online classroom. Because before that, we just did the because it has been promoted that okay, you have to use
Your
Google
class is the
Meeting.
best.
No, not our class is the best. It's like random class. No, it's just a random. The GB chose the random classes, for them to get into. So, actually, we told about this thing, whether offline or online. And then during that period, we have no idea what online and what offline are. Okay, it's just like okay, WhatsApp tu orang cakap online. Okay, kalau Telegram orang cakap online, but they're not online classes because online they need real-time contact. So based on that, because we know that we were going to be observed, so and then they also said that the PPD wanted to observe us, so we were really flabbergasted, and then we just okay dah tak apalah, kita buat Google Meet because that is the thing that people are talking about. Okay, Google Meet. All right, so I did the Google Meet for a certain session because right now during the PDPR we only have for my school we only have 1 day for English. So for every week, we did the Google Meet. But the thing is, okay, let me share you the
So you
screen.
have got your GB observing
Yeah.
and
How
the
do I?
PPTs as well.
No, not the PPT, but just the GB.
GB. Okay.
We just got
Right.
a letter from our GB saying that our prosa will be joining any of the classes, right?
Yep.
So maybe we'll just wait for that lah.
Can you
Oh,
guys see?
okay.
Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
crystal clear.
The speaking
all right.
lesson offline
Okay,
mode.
speaking on online mode, but I can't really see myself. How do I
You
make?
don't have to see yourself. You just see your screen and you talk.
No
I
need to
just
see
Only
yourself lah,
we
Pian
was
already
it's
handsome
like
lah. So long we
it is
can
like
see the screen
no.
lah.
it is like I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to a laptop without any
That's
audience.
normal, okay?
We are here.
Welcome
We
to
are
the
here.
club.
Don't worry. We are not going anywhere.
Okay. Oh
Azia
no.
has got one tub of ice cream. Oh, have you kept it back?
Okay. Wait. Apa ni? Cacing kat dah.
Cacing keluar.
How do I? Okay, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Macam mana ni?
Put that back. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
nice. Yes.
So this is actually a speaking lesson, which is offline mode. So why do I actually basically when it comes to this period or right after the Raya Haji, you know, when it comes to speaking lesson, I opt to do offline mode classes like all the time. You know, because of because of certain circumstances that I am in. So before this is some kind of disclaimer. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to advocate or promulgate that the offline mode is the best. But the thing is, when it comes to education world, there is no such thing as one size fits all. So whatever thing that you think is that works best for your classroom, just go ahead. And if you have the privilege of having the online classes, go ahead, because we have a lot of what do we call great activities, interactive activities for the kids to use. And it has been proven and used by all the vanguards in our education field. So why not?
Yeah. Welcome, Niza. Nizaha is here.
Oh God, why is he here? Hi, good
Say
evening, Kak
hi. Why you?
Nizaha.
Oh God.
Welcome,
Say
welcome.
hi.
Welcome, Kak Nizaha. I hope that you are doing well with your PhD. Yeah.
Good evening, Roger. Hello. Welcome.
Okay, so the aim of my offline mode. Okay, so because of all these things, no, and basically, when the GB was in my classroom, and then when we had the classroom, only out of 31, only eight or nine students who got into the classroom. And then I did record the lesson, and then when I posted the lesson to the group, to the class group, we had another problems. And then and that particular moment as well, we were our school, basically we were doing some kind of a measure to see budak mana yang tak masuk kelas. Okay, what would we do with the classroom and with the kids and everything. So when it comes to my class, because I am the guru pembantu for that class, so I discuss with the class teacher, and then we call the parents. Macam kami bahagi-bahagi lah. Macam for the class teacher bahagi sikit, I bahagi sikit, and then we call the parents, and then these are the certain things that we got from the conversation or from
These
the
are the
session
things
that
that
we
you
had.
gathered lah.
The
Why?
feedback. Okay,
Okay.
so the first thing, when we these are the aims of the offline mode class that I'm using. So the first one is I want to reach out as many as many students as possible that I can when it comes to my class. Because before this I did the Google meeting, and apparently we in my class students they don't have devices. Okay, basically maybe because they are not they couldn't afford that, or maybe like their parents are at work, so they don't have the devices. And then if they do have devices, they don't have internet connection, and the connection is always bad for them. And then no telco data because they have to buy the data. And when I use the Google Meet, I'm not sure about any other schools, but in my school, based on the parents, they said if you cikgu, when you are using the Google Meet, sometimes it is like 40 to 50 minutes of the lesson tau. So macam they have to
Banyak lah.
look at the video for 40 to 50 minutes of duration. So dia kata macam it requires a lot of data. So dia kata we couldn't afford cikgu, because you know why? Dia kata it's not only satu kelas saja cikgu. I have many children, so it's not only your class. And then tomorrow,
Pian, do you have any input on how many do they actually need for one student? Okay, katalah dia kata telco mana I'm not so sure. Satu hari dia boleh dapat 1 gig free, betul tak?
I'm not sure.
1 gig tu boleh tak tampung untuk kelas dia untuk satu hari?
I think okay, cool. I don't know. I don't know. Because I
Okay.
haven't tried to see the consumption of the data, so I don't know. But these are the things that I got from parents. So I'm not really sure if the parents are saying this just because, this is just for the sake of saying or giving excuses. I don't know lah. I'm not sure.
But
And then
actually, Pian,
Ada orang
if
angkat
you
tangan. Yes,
actually, Pian, if
Shazlin.
you talk
I
about
just
data
would like to
usage, right?
respond.
Google Meet memang takes up more data than the rest because we have what you call data from what you call some sort of like research, you know. So Google Meet uses 2.25 gigabyte of the data, and then if you
Because
look
it's
at the
live. I
list
think it's live.
data in Teams.
Shazlin,
According
what
to
was...
my,
Hmm.
I would like to respond about the 1 gig data. It is true. It is not enough for GM, but it is enough if they just want to read the assignment given in WhatsApp or Telegram lah. So it's actually
Oh.
enough
Okay.
for the kids. But if you want to do GM, it's not enough.
Yeah, very
Alright.
true.
You're on the right track, Pian. It's actually true. GM will not be able to reach everybody. I agree with that too. Carry on.
okay, thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you, Min. Alright.
Okay, thank you so much, Kak Shazlin. And then I also want to help the students to complete the task, in a comfortable way and a simpler way, because basically I got this from the parent as well. When I did the Google Meet session, sometimes I want the immediate feedback when it comes to speaking. So macam because we have this session and then no, you have to do this, and then actually for certain students, especially the struggling ones, they don't have the ample time to do that. So bila I tengok kan, when I have like 13 or 14 students in the classroom, maybe like 2 or 3 yang betul-betul boleh buat. So yang the rest tu dia macam they couldn't do it in that stipulated time. They couldn't do the things, and then when they couldn't complete the task, and then it would create another problems where sometimes I could see when we were doing the session, the Google Meet session, then the parents would be by their side, and then sometimes the parent would say, hang ni cepatlah takkan yang tu pun tak laki. So I could see that the students were grimacing, and then they were frowning, they were wincing, and I know that they were not comfortable with that. Dah lah tak boleh buat, kena marah dengan mak pula kat tepi. And then the parents would be embarrassed as well because they think that, oh, my students couldn't do this, because all the people in the during the session on the Google Meet, they could see siapa yang cakap, siapa yang tak boleh buat semua. So when it comes to confidence, dia jadi macam kurang. And then there were certain parents juga, they would say, cikgu dah tahu kan yang tak semua orang boleh buat Google Meet. Selalu buat Google Meet pun macam we only had like 13 or 14 students saja out of 31. So dia kata, why do you have to keep doing this? Dia kata, why don't we just try something else? And that's why, when I discussed with the GB, so we came to a verdict that, we're just going to use the normal WhatsApp and Telegram. Because before this, I used to use what do we call the Google Classroom and everything, but sometimes it was quite difficult for the student because sometimes they forgot the Google ID, apa dia yang the 5 something to Google ID, and then they had to log in to the Google Classroom, and then the parents say, why don't we just use the WhatsApp and Telegram, because it's already on the phone and it's easy, just guna sahaja. So because of this, and then after the discussion with my guru kelas and then with the GB admin, because the admin saw this, but because they got into the classroom and said, oh, tak boleh macam ni, tak boleh. So it was quite difficult, and then it has made another bigger problem and major problem for me, because the abolishment of UPSR has made the measurement of the PBD, the classroom-based assessment, to be fall solely upon the use of PBD in the classroom. And when I don't have the masterpiece or the work from the students, macam mana I nak buat?
That is a problem.
Macam I couldn't award them. I couldn't award them with the TP. I tak tahu because they didn't do it. And then when I say and then the authority, the superior would tanya, macam mana boleh tak ada, kenapa? And then I said, when I do the Google Meet and everything, so budak tak masuk, so I couldn't do it. So reconsidering that thing, the PBD, and then the feedback from the parents, and then the discussion with the GBs and the class teachers semua. So I think the offline mode is is okay for
best.
this. It's the best for my class for this particular situation. And then looking back at all the theories that I learned before in university,
Kau teori universiti, okay?
yeah,
Masuk
yes,
sekali.
yeah, because of the
Ha.
one size, because we don't have any one size fits all. So
Yes.
Okay, which
uh,
theory are we talking about? Constructivism ke? Vygotsky ke? Come on.
Kejap. We
uh,
have Jane in the house. Hi, Jane.
hi
Welcome,
Jane.
welcome.
Hi everyone.
uh,
Okay, Jan.
so looking back at all this, at all these things that I have in front of me, so it has come to the epiphany that I don't have to be like really technological savvy in the classroom. I don't have to do this. It is what best for the kids. It is not about how fancy my classroom is when it comes to using the technology, but it is way more about how it benefits the student. So that's why I'm going to share with all of you about what I did, because of all these things. All right. So these are the tenets that I have when it comes to pembelajaran teradun that we have right now. So these are the things that I actually try to to target when I'm doing my classroom. So it's about all these things. So I don't have to read, right? You baca je lah, boleh kot now.
Tak payahlah kita orang boleh baca apa. Just bagi yang mana you nak stress tu. Yang mana you nak kita orang yang macam slow learners macam I dengan So ni
Oh,
slow
so
learners.
basically, these are all the elements of the pembelajaran teradun that we have. And remember the video that you posted into the group, Muli, the one that that the JUs of Selangor did the video. Haikal, Mr. Haikal and Mr. And
Credit
Miss
to
Zabah.
Miss Premani.
Thank you so much, Miss
Dia yang
Permani, for
share, so I share
providing and for
back.
sharing the
Oh,
video.
okay.
And then when I look at the video, I remember Mr. Haikal said something about this thing as well. About when it comes to pembelajaran teradun, you have to have this and this. Macam it's not about being fancy, but it's not about being decadent when it comes to this, but it's just what you could do to benefit the student. So these are the things.
When we come to pace, all right. Just now, if we go back to one slide, never mind. Don't need to go back. You said that at their own pace. So how
Yeah.
long do you actually give the students?
At most 1 week, because we have one class. Basically, it's not 1 week tau. Macam frankly speaking, truthfully, for my kids, sometimes
Paling lama surat ada paling lama you pernah macam
1 month.
kau baru
1
nak
month.
hantar. Okay,
Yes, 1 month. Macam tapi tak kisahlah as long as you buat itu je. Because
as long as you dapat, then you dah boleh record.
I
Betul
boleh
tak?
record, ada bukti, itu je.
Ada bukti, yes.
Sebab
Yeah, we need the evidence actually.
Yes, because I don't want to put any, I don't want to create any anxiety towards the parents and in the students themselves, saying that okay, you have to do this by the way. Dia tak boleh sebab because I have one student in my class, the mother sent a picture of them doing the work in the at the aisle of the apartment.
Oh, tak ada sebab dia tak
dalam
ada
rumah tak ada line.
Corridor is it?
Kesiannya.
Yes, on the corridor tu.
Ha.
Yeah. And then there was one student where they had to take a bike and they had to go somewhere like maybe 500 meters from the house just to get the connection. It is quite shocking to see that in Penang we have these places which are like this.
Yes.
But still we do have. No, I'm shocked. I'm a little bit flabbergasted at the first time I heard this. But then when they showed me the video, dia kata betul cikgu. And then when I talk to other teachers, memang is the same problem because sometimes I rasa parents nak tipu kot. Maybe anak tak nak buat kerja saja buat alasan. But the thing is when we discuss among all the teachers for one particular classroom, memang alasan tu sama lah, memang betul. Dan ada yang ditunjuk video kata line tak ada, all those things.
Okay, welcome Faris into the group.
Faris, who's that?
Faris,
Okay.
my friend.
Oh, right. Welcome, Mr. Faris. And then, semua benda-benda lah. So these are the things. So
why is it called my tenet?
Tenet is like my principle when it comes to this. These are all the principles that I want to have whenever I do the PDPR in my classroom lah. The blended learning in my classroom. So it should be personalized. It should be aligned the classroom, because I have the worksheet as well. And then the worksheet, whatever happens on the worksheet, they should be similar and uniform to the things that I posted in the video or in the online class, in the offline mode too. regardless of whether I rakam the video ke apa ke, it must be aligned. And then I make sure that I have the balance instruction for my virtual classroom and the worksheet for the physical worksheet that they are going to download and print, and then focus on the learner, and then adaptable, authentic, and then I make sure that we have the future focused curriculum and assessment so that it will be easier for me to simpan the record lah for the PBD. Okay, so this is the example of the lesson that I did. Okay, it is year 4 from page 20, which is the speaking lesson. Okay, so this is the scheme of work for this particular lesson. So when it comes to this, I make sure that I could, all the activities would actually go toward addressing the main skill and the complementary skill. And then as well, I make sure that I don't forget the language and grammar focus over here. When it comes to learning outline to procedure, up to you guys, whatever you want to do it. Be creative. Like what Madam Azrina said in episode 1 of Among Talk. Among, sorry.
Amor.
Among. Okay, be creative is whatever you want. And you know what's best for your kids kan. So buat je lah. Okay, so this is the lesson objective where I want them to tell me about 4 housework and activities of the characters. No, what am I saying? Sorry. No, I want them to tell me the activities that the characters have to do and don't have to do, and then they have to listen and respond to the questions correctly. So basically the question is like, well, what does he have to do? So dia akan jawab lah. So if they could understand the soalan, then they would be giving me the correct answers lah. So tak adalah istilah macam what does he have to do on Saturday? Dia cakap, oh saya dah tidur. So that akan jadi macam tu lah. If that is the jawapan, it shows that dia tak faham lah. And then
Dia bagi sampel ke? Ada bagi sampel?
ada kejap saya tunjuk.
Okay, alright.
Okay, lepas tu, and then we have the add-ons over here, optional. Sometimes for the good students, for the advanced students, you know, I want them to use adjective as well when they are describing what people are doing, based on the stimulus too. And right now, it is actually important for us to actually incorporate banyak benda in one lesson because we only have one lesson per week. And then if we look at the document penjajaran as well, you know, we have all the highlighted apa dia waktu apa tu ayatnya
Pelengkap is it?
apa pelengkap apa tu skill pelengkap dengan skill something tu, so you have to incorporate kan. So this is basically the things that I do lah. So this is the vocabulary that I want them to do, go shopping with the car and everything. So these are the structures that I want them to have. What does or she have to do? He or she has to, ataupun he or she doesn't have to. All right. So this is the lesson. So for the lesson, you know, because we know that Google Meeting macam it consume a lot of data. So that's why I moved from this is from my friend. I've learned this from my friend in Selangor and this one in Kelantan. No, they are the JUs as well. So they say instead of you using the Google Meet, and then if you want to record the Google Meet, which is like 30 to 40 minutes, which consumes a lot of data, why don't you just use Canva? First, because Canva is very easy to use. And then Canva, macam for this one, if you can see, it is only like 6 minutes saja I record. 6 minutes for me to record the instruction and the step-by-step things what the students are expected to do. So it would be very easy. First, because it's 6 minutes, and 6 minutes ni for the kids, I think it is it is good because kids, when they are looking at the video for too long, especially the lesson video like this, they akan jadi boring. They're gonna get bored. So within 5 minutes to 6 minutes, I think it should be okay for the students. And then it was proven to be okay because a lot of students, you know, they liked it. And then we have the templates over there, so which is easy for us to use. Tak payah nak cari-cari gambar apa. The things are there. So I started off with the lesson instruction using the Canva. And then when I posted this, for the students who are not able to see this because the parents are at work and they don't have the devices, tak apalah. When the parents come back from work, then they could see this lah. Kalau Google Meet dulu, I did the same thing. But the thing is, after Maghrib, the parents got home, and then when the child, when they want to access to the video guna Google Meet, the recording was too long. And then the parents complain, dia kata macam kami pun nak kena guna telefon cikgu. So kalau macam
dia orang kena bagi pula the phone untuk anak dia like 30 to 40 minutes just to tengok your lesson. So Canva less time lah. That means Canva macam compress everything into one. So
Yeah,
macam
compress.
mana?
Dia macam I compress everything into one. You know, because sometimes when it came to this is my experience dulu lah. Okay, when I use the Google Meet, sometimes bila budak tak faham, budak akan tanya. Am I right? So when they ask, video tu akan jadi lagi panjang. The video will get longer. So for those students who are the advanced student, they're gonna get bored like macam Allah, panjang sangat ni. So when it comes to do Canva ni, when they see for 5 minutes or 6 minutes, okay, for the good students, if they can grasp the idea faster than the rest of the classmate, tak apa, okay, they pun terus buat kerja. But then for those who haven't got the concept of what they are supposed to do and everything, they could always contact me. So I give them the freedom of doing. I give them the, what do we call, the, how do I say it? Not the leeway lah, the
privilege to
the
actually
privilege. Macam kalau you tak pandai, then only you tak pandai, sorry. If you can't really do this,
kalau you
then
tak
you come
faham,
and ask
then
me.
only baru
Yes.
you tanya.
So
Okay.
macam I don't have to spend a lot of time to be guiding the whole class, sedangkan ada orang yang sudah faham pun, then dia macam Allah, takkan tak faham lagi hampa ni pun. So I don't want to create that kind of atmosphere in my classroom. And then after that, I post the PDF file. And then the PDF file too, I put like a little bit of word wall. Because word wall, like what Ajina said yesterday, word wall, it doesn't really consume a lot of data compared to quizzes. So, quizzes. Bukan quizzes, Kahoot. Yes, Kahoot. And then basically because I have already had the account for word wall, so why not? So because I know that I don't, sometimes people would say, tadi kata nak guna offline, sekarang ni nak ada online pula, buat quiz lah apa. So basically, I need to cater to these two groups, the one who like the online mode and the one who don't have the privilege of having the online mode. So I need to incorporate and to amalgamate these two situations lah. So that's why I buat juga guna, what do we call, word wall. And I tengok even the kids yang sebelum ni cakap tak boleh buat online pun, still mereka jawab benda ni. Bila I tengok the leaderboard tu, mereka jawab. So I think that is improvement over there. So I really like it. And then if you can see over here, ada juga cikgu, when I did this, the GB set, not the GB, the PK1, GPK1 tanya, you bagi quiz ni, budak ni memang reti ke? So just bear in mind that this is not the first lesson for this particular topic. So I think this is like the fourth lesson. So basically this is just to review the vocabulary lah. I said to the GPK, they said, okay lah, tak apalah. Okay, that's good. So if you can see over here.
Kenapa dia tanya quiz tu student boleh buat?
Tak, sebab macam ni. Sebab okay, if you can look over here, when they just got into, when they just click on the link here, dia akan terus ke quiz. So dia jadi macam, you dah ajak ke budak-budak ni? Macam you pakai tanya saja. Macam my GPK, dia macam, she's very particular when it comes to that. Dia macam, you must teach them first before you assess them. Macam tu. Dia memang cukup particular.
But we do have pre kind of lesson, isn't it?
So
Macam kita nak dia get the vocabulary masuk dulu. Of course, kita boleh buat quizzes kan. It's okay.
Boleh. Boleh.
But we also have problems using quizzes. Like for example, parents will say, oh mentang-mentang mak ayah dia ada kat rumah, boleh tolong anak dia dapat skor tinggi. Macam tu pun aduh.
But this one, this is not macam, I'm not going to take this as the PBD punya record, because this is not the thing that I'm going to test in this class anyway pun. This is a speaking lesson. So okay je lah. Okay.
Some parents are very competitive also lah, Ina.
Yes.
Very true. Because
Tambah
just
yang duduk
imagine
kat tepi
our
anak
class
dia
also
tu.
like that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Pian, 20 more minutes.
Okay, so this is the exam plus. Never mind. So this is the example that I give to the students and the parent as well. Basically, I put on the Telegram group or in the WhatsApp group juga lah. So basically, this actually helps the struggling pupils lah. Because when I did the Google Meet, memang I bagi benda ni. But the thing is, they need time. And then sometimes, when they couldn't do it and when they see that other people could do it, dia akan jadi macam, malah buat lah. Apa memang pandai pun. Tak payah malah. So, I tak suka benda-benda tu happens in my class. So, and this one as well, it lets people to practice on their own lah, at their own pace. Macam, okay, you have this. Okay, kalau you tak suka buat sekarang, maybe after Zohor nanti you nak buat. Okay, you can buat. Tak pun you nak buat after Maghrib. Tak pun you have to wait for the parents to come home and guide. And then this actually, the parents, they texted me saying that, okay cikgu, thank you sebab bagi benda ni, because sometimes it is hard for us to actually help our student, to guide our student. Kami pun tak tahu. But then when you give us this, actually we could also learn, and in the same time we could actually guide our children.
So sebenarnya instruction tu untuk parents juga.
Actually untuk budak, tapi
yelah sebab dia
tapi
nak tolong anak dia buat juga. So
because,
dia pun kena faham.
Because at night I am not available lah for the Google Meet apa semua. But then parents, when they have this, they could actually guide the kids. And then the discovery that I made is a lot of guardians there, they are also learning the language. So basically when it comes during the pandemic ni, macam a lot of the parents, they are doing the business online business apalah jual ni. So dia kata sometimes when they have customers like Chinese customers, dia pun boleh cakap English a little bit. So dia kata thank you lah cikgu sebab ajar. Macam tu. Saya macam okay lah. And then these are the tasks. So I think GPK when I give the task ni, tadi ada cakap yang budak kena faham soalan, one of the skill. So dia kata mana soalan kat sini? So I cakap lah, that is the soalan on the on the worksheet tu, what does Syafiq have to do at home on Saturday, what does Syafiq have to do. Tapi and then my GPK kata, but then this one is reading. So basically I want them to actually listen and understand the soalan that you bagi tu. So I cakap okay tak apalah, and then I pre-record the questions lah. I pre-record the questions so that it would be like macam I lah yang cakap dengan mereka. So I cakap lah, okay children, so you have to tell me two things. The first one is, what does Syafiq have to do at home on Saturdays? And next one is, what does Syafiqah have to do at home on Saturdays? So that will be the soalan, and then based on the soalan dia akan jawab lah. Okay, for Syafiq in the morning, on Saturdays he has to blah 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 blah. And then for the good students, we have the extension over here. We can have the students ask their parents about what the parents have to do, and then they have to tell us in the video. They have to record the video and tell me what their parents have to do. So basically they are the same lah. The tasks are the same saja. Okay, macam this one. Apa yang Syafiqah atau Syafiq kena buat. Tak pun kalau budak tu macam tak bosan lah Syafiqah dengan Syafiq, dia nak cakap pasal ibu parents dia ataupun kawan dia ataupun their sibling. So it's up to them. Basically yang I nak adalah dia pun boleh cakap, they could tell me apa yang orang buat. Okay, describing what people have to do. Itu sahaja. Alright. So this is the checklist, which is very important, I guess. So this is the checklist that I gave together with all the worksheets. So when good students, when they have done this, so they would tick, and then so that it would be some kind of a track line, so that they could keep up with what they have done in the classroom, for the task. Sorry, not in the classroom, but for the task for them before they submit the work to me. And then for the good students, you can add on to the list. For example, like use one adjective, like what I did for my good students. And then ask parents or sibling about what they have to do tomorrow. So these are for the good student lah. You can add on to the list. Okay, apa yang mereka nak buat. So basically it's up to your class lah. You know what's best for the students. So you boleh buat benda ni. Okay, and then these are the results as you can see. So they recorded the video of themselves telling about what Syafiq and Syafiqah have to do. And then they submit the video to me. And then when they submitted the video to me, it was really enlightening when I saw students who did not speak a lot in the classroom before this, and then they were comfortable to do this on their own, and then they submitted me the video. So this shows that when it comes to the Google Meet, it's not that they don't have the ability to speak. It's just like I malu, because we have a lot of different attitudes in the classroom kan. So the macam saya malu. Bukan, it's not that saya tak boleh buat, tapi saya malu. So when it comes to do the kerja sorang-sorang macam ni, so I could see that a lot of students who did not really participate in the classroom, yes, they submit the video and wow, actually hang boleh je cakap. So because of this, I have the opportunity to do the PBD for speaking activity lah, for speaking skills. So and then this is the feedback that I gave. So the first one, macam for this student, as you can see the gambar on the left, I give the feedback in terms of my voice, because I just speak, okay, what you did good, what you what can be improved and everything. And then for this one, yang macam gambar kat atas ni, on the right hand side, I will write everything. Can you read that? I don't know whether you can read that. I don't know whether it's too small or
It's
not.
very small, Pian, but I think we know what you
Two,
are talking
Okay.
two
about.
stars.
And
Azia
then
was
Yeah,
there's
so
also
2 stars
another
and
and
wish.
wish. Two
Okay, 2
stars
stars
and
and
wish.
wish. The first one, whatever it is, although they speak like, I'm not going to say hell. There, I said that. Although they speak like very not too up to the par that you want, it's not anticipated for them. Macam you don't anticipate that, but still 2 stars and a wish. Just wish them whatever things that you can wish. Basically, mesti ada benda yang bagus ni that you can comment on.
Yeah, you reward dulu.
Yes,
Because
and then
you
then you do
they
the
get
reprimand after that.
All right, so I just want to
yeah.
welcome Rosie to the group. Welcome,
Hi.
Rosie.
Hi po, Monisa.
Hi.
And
All
then
right.
this one, if you can look at the picture down here, no, the right hand side down there, for this particular student, because he's very shy. Okay, Akil Hadif, he's very shy, so he doesn't want to record his face. So dia hantar, he
Oh,
sent
that's why
me
tak ada
the
tak ada
he sent
muka.
me the
Yeah,
voice
we have
recording.
students like that also.
Yeah, so
Some they are very
that,
shy, but they want to
yes,
participate, isn't it?
yes.
Just
In the
accept.
class, kalau nak tengok this particular student, Akil Hadif ni cakap, Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
Memang, I don't know whether ada ketua imah in the mouth or apa, I tak tahu, but then susah. But then when it
Adalah
comes to...
tu.
But then Rapian, when you look at it in the positive way, actually PDPR helps our students yang memang introvert,
Yes.
but they want to
Yes.
participate in class malu tau. So
Yeah,
they hantar
betul.
video or girls like they was very fun, And then I would just like to point out one thing. We had teachers complimenting on our module because our module have LNS, remember? So it helps them to get the resources also. So they really love the module. Thank you so much to all the JU.
Okay, thank you so much, Kak Ina. And then for this, so if you can see over here, this I give them the leeway of how they are going to portray their masterpiece. So regardless of whether they want to record themselves, including the gambar, or if they just want to voice record.
Kalau voice
their
saja pun okay, you accept.
Okay, yes, I accepted it because the main point here, the skills that I want to test over here is the speaking skill. So I don't need to really see you if I want to listen to what you are speaking. Especially when we are, for example, if we have the conversation on the phone, I don't need to see you anyway. I don't need to see you anyway, just to know that you can speak. So this is some kind of the leeway that I am giving to my students when it comes to doing the work. So
another privilege. You are giving another privilege
yes.
to them.
So if you can see over here, let's revisit my tenet when it comes to blended. So differentiated instruction and pacing. Yes, I bagi pacing yang berbeza. Okay, for those who are good, and then right after the class, they could actually record and submit the work. But for those who are struggling, then they have like 1 week or more than 1 week. I don't mind as long as you do the work. So this is the pacing that they have. Okay, this is the different pacing that they could have when it comes to finishing the work. And then personalized to learners and interests. All right, so this one, certain students, they like to do the word wall, so I gave them word wall. Certain students, they like to do Google Meet, but then I did not really do the Google Meet for this particular lesson. But then I gave them Canva, so at least they could see me. They could see me talking down there because some of the students, they said rindu lah cikgu nak tengok muka cikgu. So I bubuh juga gambar I, duk rakam tu ada juga gambar I di bawah tu. And then align virtual classroom, align virtual and classroom instruction. Whatever I did in my Canva video, those are the same thing on the worksheet, on the physical worksheet that I have. Okay, and then balance virtual and classroom ni, okay, it is the same thing. Apa yang ada dalam Canva video, those are the things that we have in the on the worksheet juga. So dia tak ada macam dalam worksheet tu tulis satu perkataan saja. Dalam video tu tulis punya banyak. So tak ada lah macam tu, dia sama. And then it's focused on the learner where actually I give them the freedom of doing the work, is whether they want to record their voice or they want to actually record themselves. And then adaptable and authentic. So I think most of us, when we do our blended learning, I think they are all adaptable and authentic. In this sense, authentic it comes in when the good student, when they have to go and ask the parents what they have to do tomorrow, and then they have to record and tell me okay, ni yang bapak I memang kena buat esok lah, so it's authentic. Dia bukannya reka-reka. Macam if we are looking at the worksheet, Syafiqah and Syafiq tu, that is not really authentic lah. Because basically if I'm the student, who is Syafiqah? Who is Syafiq? So why am I have to talk? Why do I have to talk about them? So if you don't want to do that, never mind. You can go and ask your siblings or your parents the same thing and tell me what your siblings or your parents have to do. And then it's future focused curriculum. I'm not saying that this is a future focused curriculum sangat pun. But the use of technology tu adalah a little bit. So I think it could be considered as future focused curriculum lah kot. I guess so. Maybe.
Macam mana? Ulang balik.
The future focused curriculum ni, I'm not sure whether my class is future focused curriculum, but the thing is, when I incorporate the use of technology, I think that it has actually touched a little bit of the essence over there. And then because for this one, I am really looking into the assessment because I need to have the record. And basically right now I have, out of 31, I have like 20 to 25 students who had actually submitted me the work. So at least I had something to be shown to the parents when it comes to giving them the feedback. And if the stakeholders like all the PK ataupun PPD, they wanted if they want to see the work ataupun the evidence of saying that okay, kenapa budak ni dapat TP3, TP4, TP5, at least I have the evidence.
You boleh bagi tahu.
Yeah, kita ada evidence.
Okay, welcome Siti. Alright, what I am macam intrigued or I'm seronok is when you said that you give the freedom, you bagi kebebasan pada student you untuk tak guna Syafiq or Syafiqah, but dia boleh guna cousin dia mungkin.
Yes.
Dia boleh guna parents dia. So you have taken their expectation, or their learning platform from let's say step 1 to 3 steps further. Sebab you bagi dia pergi jauh. Okay, kalau yang tu drama so boleh dengar drama kat belakang. Yang tu kita panggil, kalau I pergi tengok dekat sekolah-sekolah under PISA dulu, kita panggil yang tu PAK 21 sebab you dah tarik dia punya perhatian luar daripada apa yang ada dalam textbook. Okay, so which is good. Okay, thumbs up. I think it's good. So kita ada seorang dah yang guna Canva. You duk tuduh-tuduh I memang suka Canva. I memang suka guna Canva.
Oh, I love Canva.
I punya posters and my slides pun Canva. Okay, sebab Canva ada banyak templates actually.
Yes, exactly. It makes your life easier.
And you can do your worksheets dalam Canva je. Oh, hidup Canva. Okay.
All hail Canva.
Anything else? Ada ni tak siapa nak angkat tangan
But just this disclaimer, I'm not, sekali lagi. Okay,
banyak disclaimer dia malam ni, korang tahu tak?
I'm not advocating that, online learning is not the best. No, I'm not saying that, Cikgu Faris is here. Cikgu Faris ni yang PMK tu. Oh my God, he's gonna hate me like so much right now.
He didn't say anything, he was just giving 4 thumbs up.
Okay, but the thing is, it is what fits your students best in a classroom. Sebab I try Google Meet, I try everything, tapi I just dapat result like 8 orang, 7 orang saja. So I macam, actually I was really risau. And then I could still remember Puan Melissa when you asked us last year, bukan last year ke, early this year, yang you tanya, macam mana you all punya kelas, Google Meet okay ke? I macam, oh my God, Google Meet I 8 orang saja. How would I answer this?
Jangan, that's why I kata, numbers yang datang untuk Google Meet you ataupun number of student yang hadir untuk you punya kelas online, jangan tertipu dengan number tu. Walaupun seorang saja Pian, you tetap ajar. Sebab effort budak tu masuk kelas you. Kita bagi effort. So kita ajar dia. Kalau dia seorang lagi bagus. Maksudnya tumpuan untuk dia sahaja.
One-to-one coaching lah.
Yes, macam one-to-one coaching. Bagi kredit, dia dah masuk. Janganlah bila dia seorang tiba-tiba, bukanlah you ask. Mungkin adalah cikgu macam, ada pun seorang aja puan, macam mana saya nak ajar? Boleh, ajar saja. Record your teaching tu. Record your lesson. Jangan lupa record. Okay, and share whatever is in the WhatsApp group yang dalam student punya handphone ke macam group. I think kalau primary kebanyakannya dengan group parents lah kan, parents yang ada dalam group tu. Kalau secondary budak tu sendiri, dia macam tu. Okay, so really good. Yang lain, how? Seronok tak? Ataupun suka dengan Pian punya approach for speaking? Azia dia angkat tangan tinggi. Azia tunjuk I speaking.
Pian, I like your checklist. I think that's a good way for the people to be responsible for their learning because they will know like what they have to do, especially you dah bubuh dalam bracket like apa kan. So basically they know like what is expected of them
Yes.
and how to go about it.
Yeah, because before this I didn't do the checklist because I did the Google Google Meet. So when I had the Google Meet, I had the chance of okay, you have to do this and this and this in the
Yeah,
Google Meet.
Pian flashback the checklist, not flash yourself, the checklist. We need a checklist. Thank you.
Set, mana dia? Where is it? Okay, so Sis Azia, as we were talking about this, before this, I tak buat checklist because I could tell everything during the Google Meet. But then right now, because I shortened everything, I compressed everything in the Canva, which is like 6 minutes saja. So I need to have the checklist lah. Basically, checklist ni memang basically bantu sangat. Bantu the parents to guide the kids and all those things lah. So, mereka kena buat benda ni. So basically, this one is formative assessment punya, what do we call, topik dulu ni.
FA punya. Tak keluar pun, Pian.
Ada?
Jam ke? Banyak kereta. Ui.
Tak nampak ah?
Are you sharing?
Oh,
No.
no, I tak share. Wait. Oh, sorry, I just buka PowerPoint. Pasal cakap sorang-sorang. Like,
Dia
what is
suka
going
hati.
on?
Jangan tersalah share.
Shot sendiri.
No.
Jangan tersalah share.
I have nothing to hide.
Jangan salah pula
I'm
nak tunjuk
pure.
apa tu
You
Memang
can't
betul
say
checklist. Kita
anything,
nak
Pian.
checklist je.
Saya baru nak share. Dah share screen kan? Okay.
Okay.
Tadi tak share. Tadi I je buka PowerPoint seorang-seorang. Okay, can you look at the checklist?
Okay.
I think kalau ada lagi baru nak masuk, kita nak habis dah. Hi Noriza, welcome. Kita orang dekat ujung-ujung dah ni.
Pian,
Yeah.
sorry, tadi I was looking at this, but then I can't really understand how it is used. Can you please explain this?
Yang mana, which one?
The checklist, is it Lin?
Ni, I tak tahu macam mana nak guna. I'm like in the jungle.
Oh, the checklist. Okay, basically the checklist ni, these are all the things or all the perjalanan lah, all the journey from the first thing
Pian,
that I
besarkan balik yang you
Oh,
pakai
sat.
tadi kecil.
Macam mana?
I dah lah rabun.
Okay, so
start
this
the-
basic so when I wanted to give them the lesson for that particular day, so basically I akan buat ikut this checklist would be the chronology of what the students are anticipated to do. So basically when I started the class, I want them to actually review the vocabulary. So I bagi them bagilah dekat depa the word wall quiz tu kan. So the number one on the checklist would be the word wall punya link. So after they have answered this, then they have to tick. Macam tu. So I want them to actually go through all these things in order for them to come out with their masterpiece, with their work at the end of the day. Macam tu.
So they can either scan or they can type or they can click on the link lah. Betul tak?
No, checklist ni I
The code.
bagi macam tu lah. No, basically all the links pun I akan bagi juga dalam what do we
Oh,
call.
okay. Just nak tengok dia orang dah buat yang mana.
Yeah.
So dia orang boleh tahu. Okay, that's why.
So bila
So
depa
the
buat
bulat-bulat
semua
tu
ni,
you tick ke or dia
yang
orang
ni
yang
dia budak yang akan tick, I tak akan tick. Macam kalau okay, macam contohnya if I am the student, okay, number 1 I dah buat, so I tick. Number 2, then I have done number 2, then I tick. So basically when by the end of by the end of the checklist tu, like number 9, submit the video tu, maknanya dia dah okay, dah siap lah kerja untuk hari tu.
Yeah, they do the self-assessment first, right?
Yeah.
They assess
Because-
themselves first whether
Yes,
they've done
because I
this
want them to
step
have
by
the
step.
responsibility of of their own learning.
Yeah, that's
Yang-
good, you know.
Jadi dalam FA kan ada dalam formative assessment dulu kan ada semua benda-benda ni. So I just buat je lah.
Pian salah seorang anak didik FA ke?
Yep.
Bukan you anak didik LMA dulu ke?
LMA, FA,
Banyak anak didik.
curriculum.
Okay.
Tadi siapa yang tanya soalan tadi tu macam mana tadi? I
Yang
tak
mana?
nam-
Siapa angkat tangan? Tak ada siapa angkat
Tak ada.
tangan.
No,
I
no,
lah
I mean-
tanya.
Oh, Syazlin lah. Tak, dia
actually,
minta tengok balik
especially
ni
for-
Aziah yang kata checklist ni bagus.
Ah.
Dan Syazlin kata nak
all
tengok
the
balik.
reason. Yes, that's the reason why I want to see it in.
So Kak Syazlin memang bagus pun Kak Syazlin. Memang this
Cik
thing
memang
is very-
bagus pun
This is
sebab
not
I yang buat.
Inspiring.
No, it's not because that I did it. Tapi dia macam budak dia tahu, okay, aku dah buat ni. Sebab budak-budak kadang-kadang sometimes most of the time they would forget, apa aku kena buat. So when they have the checklist, okay, aku dah buat benda ni. Aku dah buat benda
Yes,
ni.
it's
Dah buat benda ni.
inspiring. Betul. Yes. So
basically this thing checklist ni, I had seen the mathematics teacher in my school for this class dia buat. So, saya cakap okay, why not? Sebab dia kata kalau tak buat kampian, ya Allah, budak-budak ni tak cempaka, tak tahu apa. Lepas tu kan sekali lagi bila orang suruh buat benda ni, dia buat benda ni, lepas tu dia kata, lepas tu orang kata awak tak buat benda ni, dia kata nak kena buat ke? Saya tak tahu pun.
I faham,
Mana
I
kata
faham.
dia dah
Sebab
terlupa.
kalau dalam kelas face to face, you akan ikut. The student
Yes.
is there. So
Kalau
the steps of the lesson tu dia akan ikut satu persatu. Cuma
yang
bila
ni
online ni dia orang
bila
betul.
offline, you kena bayangkan, you have to imagine that we posted like a lot of things on the in the WhatsApp group or the Telegram group. And that is not only us tau. For one day, maybe kita ada 2 or 3 mata pelajaran. So dia akan jumble up a lot of things. So not to mention lah, some students mereka akan they're not going to bother to read pun, dia macam scroll down saja, oh whatever. Okay, ni ada worksheet, buat je lah worksheet ni. Kadang-kadang dia pun tak tahu apa nak kena buat dengan worksheet tu. So when they have the checklist, dia akan slowly kena buat benda ni dulu. Kau patutlah. Patutlah macam ni So because of that lah.
Dia akan jadi blended bila you ada this add-on buttons for good or advanced pupils.
Ya,
You all nampak tak yang
ni boleh add on je lah. Kalau
on
macam
the right side, so you boleh tambah.
kalau macam budak good kan, macam budak good. Kalau macam the good students, macam kalau if they are the good students, sometimes the checklist, the original checklist ni would be like really, not challenging for them. You tambah lah adjective. So they would say lah macam on Saturday morning, Syafiq has to do the bed. Tu orang biasalah. Kalau you tulis use at least one adjective, maybe they could say on Saturday Syafiq has to do his beautiful bed. Macam tu.
Okay, do they have to print it out? Soalan daripada Shazlin.
Okay, the soalan
Kena
daripada
print
do they have
tak?
to, okay, basically I want them to print, but because we have parents who don't have the printers, who don't have the facility at home, I cakap is either you salin pun boleh, tak pun you just note kat mana-mana pun boleh. Tak pun macam this one, because this one is put on the in the group, dia orang boleh edit saja guna dia punya handphone. Tak ada masalah pun.
Kalau picture pun just tick atas tu pun
just
boleh
take
je.
picture lah, tak ada masalah.
Screen right. Okay.
Sebab ada student, because I PDF kan semua benda-benda ni. Lepas tu there are parents, mereka kata PDF susah cikgu nak edit. Tapi ada parents, they have the initiative yang screenshot. So mereka conteng saja atas tu.
Betul.
Even the worksheet that I am giving right now pun, let's say macam for reading kan, mereka kena buat comprehension question. Ada certain budak mereka salin. Mereka tangkap gambar buku, snap the pictures of the book. Ada setengah budak, mereka print lah. Okay, that's normal lah, print. Ada setengah budak, they just snapshot and mereka conteng atas tu. Tu. Ada setengah budak, mereka just dalam what do we call on WhatsApp ataupun Telegram, kita boleh reply kan. Dia just reply gambar tu, dia tulis 1 jawapan. Nombor 2 jawapan apa dia.
Pun dah cukup dah. Okay, so ada soalan apa? Tangan terangkat.
Pian nak tanya ni. Kalau benda ni dia dah boleh access Telegram ataupun WhatsApp, kenapa tak upload dia ke Google Classroom?
Yang mana? Sebab Google Classroom macam saya cakap tadi lah, macam Google Classroom for certain parents and teachers, for certain parents and kids, mereka lupa password satu. Banyak kali dah jadi password Google Classroom, kan kita ada password untuk mereka kan. Yang sekolah-sekolah punya tu satu. Lepas tu yang nombor 2, kan tadi kan macam like what I told you earlier on the second slide tadi, dia cakap cikgu boleh tak kalau buat just normal Telegram dan WhatsApp, senang kami nak access, tak payah kami nak buka Google Classroom lah apalah. So because of these circumstances, then that's why macam I just use normal Telegram and WhatsApp saja.
So dia memudahkan lah.
Sebab Telegram kalau banyak sangat message tu, susah pula nak cari.
Sebab dia takkan pergi yang paling akhir. Mungkin tak banyak lah. But just to share, regarding these emails kan, yang DL, MOE, ingat tak last year bila kita start, the first time budak-budak kita just getting to start with the online classes. So I think all teachers are sending the emails and the password to the students. So I've got 4 at home. So what I did was I print out name and their email and their password. Name, email and password. Name, email, password. I lekat dekat dinding here. Okay, A4 paper. So whenever dia orang nak masuk, the first first 2 weeks kot. So they will always look at dia punya email lah. Sebab Sebab memang diorang susah nak ingat kan sebab dia M lah and then dash lah bla bla bla.
And then one thing, I ada juga dapat remark lah from my colleagues at school. Dia cakap, alah Pian tak payah layan sangat. Kadang-kadang parents ni, dia saja je cakap gitu sebab dia malas nak buat semua benda. Okay, ada. But right now the thing is, it could be true in certain ways. But the thing is, sekarang ni I just nak fikir, I nak buktiin, I nak evidence je, I nak kerja je siap. I don't mind whether I need to do it like old fashioned way, like very orthodox ways, but it's just I want the evidence saja. Itu saja.
That means minggu tu you punya lesson jalan.
Yang tu je.
That means budak hantar kerja.
I tak mau buat fancy sangat. Lepas tu nanti 8 orang je hantar. Lepas tu budak tak mau buat. Dia kata cikgu.
Oh tak faham.
Lepas tu macam panjang sangat lah cikgu Google Meet, anak kena tengok habis data semua. So nanti
so diorang pun tak nak.
Nanti dia akan jadi masalah between me and my admin at school. Dia takut sekali dia kata, dah parents cakap macam tu, kenapa hang tak layan? Maksudnya, kenapa? Why don't you do something when the parents dah come
dah complain
dah
kan?
complain.
Macam, sort of complain.
Macam kenapa you nak take fast? Dah people are vehemently talking about that. Kenapa you nak steal dengan cara you? Macam tu lah.
Okay, faham.
So sekarang ni, parents, you tak ada alasan lah. You kena buat lah.
Kiddos, whatever and however that work for our kiddos. So, you all buat saja. Asalkan student you faham, student you dapat buat, objektif tercapai.
Yes. So sekarang ni, I have the freedom of saying, saya dah buat sampai tahap senang dah kot.
Paling senang, I think paling mudah lah kot.
Kalau macam so kata tadi kan, macam we have a lot of messages kan. Maybe macam parents tu nak buat kerja tu lepas 4 hari selepas tu, 4 days later. Banyak sangat ada messages masuk. I would say senang je. You go to the media, you pergi dekat Google group punya description, group punya group punya description, group punya
the profile.
Profile tu, you boleh search dekat media semua kita ada files,
Everything
kita ada
is
media,
there.
everything is there. You just ambil je, download je from there.
Even links also there.
So sekarang ni parents, dia dah malu Allah, dia pun dah tak ada alasan. So okay lah untuk selamatkan diri I.
Betul
You
juga.
know, Pian, what I did for that type of particular thing, because I experienced the same thing also. I list down all my links for that particular month, and then all the word wall or live worksheet that I did for my particular classes in one message every month, end of the month. So there's no excuses saying tak boleh scroll atas-atas whatsoever. Memang I keep a record of all the classes, the link, the word wall whatsoever in one particular message. Maybe you can do that also for that type of particular parents out.
Okay. Alright. Thank you so much. Dah lebih 3 minit. Tak apa. Thank you so much, Pian, for your sharing.
And thank you so much for
Teaching
lending me your ears.
lesson.
And I'm sorry. I apologize for any hiccups.
Not sorry apa. Banyak benda you dah share, ilmu dah
for whatever
kongsi.
things that I said that might have inadvertently hurt your feelings. Yeah.
Tak adalah. Benda share apa yang works untuk dia punya student. Okay. So selalunya ujung sudut dia bukan hidungam. I nak tercakap dia hidungam. Tak, dia ni EO essential oil. Okay. Alright. So just nak share hujung-hujung dah ni. I tengok cikgu-cikgu yang share semalam hari ni. Alright, yang bagi idea during our chit chat, yang agree, yang nak. Okay. On top of that, we still have teachers yang tak ajar langsung, okay. Masih ada lagi own experience. Every week memang guna YouTube orang lain, suruh budak tengok, jawab soalan. Every week the same again, day in, day out. So ended up I memang call up, I tanya at least buat lah macam Pian kata, minggu sekali. Okay, so you minta student ikut yang ni, yang tu. Yang ni setiap hari I dapat benda yang sama. Okay, so memang ada, walaupun ada cikgu yang bertungkus lumus, ada cikgu yang susah hati anak murid dia tak ada data, tak ada device, tak masuk kelas, tapi still tengok dia orang merapu dah. Okay, so happy sangat malam ni kita dapat tengok, kita dapat dengar macam mana Pian conduct speaking lesson. Alright, and bila Pian sebut tadi pasal formative assessment, jangan lupa Sabtu ni, coming Saturday, we have a slot, FA slot dengan Miss Premani. Okay, this Saturday.
Okay, Kak Azrina,
now
Kak Azrina, now it is our turn to do the marketing and promotion. Just wait.
Okay.
Okay,
Sufyan, I
I
have
agree.
something
We
to
go
say
all
to
out.
you.
We go all out.
Yes, we got when it comes to marketing and promotion. Yes.
Sebab
How
that's
is it?
why awal slot I bagi tahu you have to come. You have when you click on to our link, to Chit Chat Ang Moh link, you have to be very open minded sebab sharing ni saya ambil random, rendah menengah. So you adopt and adapt. Benda boleh guna. Okay? Yang main thing it works for you and your students.
Trailer.
Alright. Trailer dah habis dah trailer. Okay. Alright. So nak nyanyi ke tadi?
I want to
Tak.
show. I want to show something to Sufyan.
Okay.
What I learned yesterday. I'm showing green color for you. Can you see?
Kejap.
No,
Tak naik
can't.
pun dekat I.
I can't. I can't see anything.
Lambat sikit kot. Kejap.
It's
Tak ada,
green
tak ada.
color. Green
And why is-
color.
Mana, Pram?
I
Alamak.
can't see any green.
You can't
Oh,
see
itu
it?
dah. Okay. I
Okay,
don't
I
have
learned
green.
from-
I only have.
I learned from Puan Azina yesterday. I'm happy
I'm
with the
so
lesson
happy.
today. You did
What is
so
that, like
well.
this store?
No, it's actually green color. That's the nearest I have.
Oh,
Don't
Sudahlah
have the
Azia.
green tudung.
Turquoise. Turquoise.
Tekais.
Okay.
Okay.
I like
I have
Alright. Itu
I
apa?
have
Ya
this.
Allah. Little tiger.
and then
Thank
I
you
have my.
very much. Thank you very much. Malam ni siapa yang join, we all thank you so much. Jangan lupa Sabtu come back to the same link. Link tak akan bertukar. Saya akan kekalkan link yang sama. Okay, and come back for
Ambil gambar, ambil
formative
gambar.
assessment. Oh, ambil gambar. Okay, semua buka ni. Siapa tukang mana fotografer kita?
Azia, as usual. Shift Command 3.
Yesterday was so okay. I didn't do anything. I just smiled.
Oh, ya ke? Okay.
Today your turn.
Alright.
Today your turn.
Cepat. Mahani dah senyum dah tu. Lengoh nanti.
Okay, ready? Everyone, please switch on your camera. Excellent. Smile. Give me that megawatt smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2. Yes, okay. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
Be
you.
safe. Take care. Alright. See you. Bye. Good night.
Thank you, Pian.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Pian.
Thank you, Pian. Bye bye, you guys.
Thank you, Sufyan.